Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Well, it's a beautiful day out, except for a little fog. We had some horrible weather yesterday. Hello, keeping up with. Join. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Happy Wednesday. It's midweek. Hi, Sharice. It's good to see you. Come on in if you don't mind inviting followers. I greatly appreciate it. Hey, Deborah Robinson, thank you so much for joining. I just want to give you a midweek motivation. We are halfway through the week. We are almost there. So I just want to give you a push. Hey, Minister Charmaine. Good morning. Good morning. We are almost there. Hello, Cherise. Thank you for joining. If you don't mind, thank you for inviting your followers, Minister Charmaine. I just want to give you a push. You are almost there. We are midweek. Some call it hump day. I call it hope day because the weekend is in view. Hey, praise 1633. So I just want to give you a quick motivation this midweek. I was just kind of thinking, the title says, don't forget to shift. Thank you. Don't forget to shift. And in life, many times we forget to shift. And I'm going to explain to you just what that means. Hello, hair artists. Thank you for joining. Many times things happen, whether it's in your life or, it can apply to even at work, because this is something that, I have to constantly do in my field of work. Relationships, as it pertains to relationships, when things happen in your life and when things are not going as they should, we sometimes forget to stop, reevaluate our situation, and then shift some things. Yes, shift some things. Shift means to move things around, to move something change something from over here to over there. Sometimes we, forget to shift our burdens to the Lord, give them to Him and leave them there, because we're not supposed to carry them. So there's many things that you can shift. You can, shift it. Like I said, sometimes you got to shift relationships, people in and out of your life, that when you stand back and look at your life and evaluate the company that you keep, and you realize that some is not good for you, that maybe you need to shift your surroundings and your company. And sometimes you got to shift your resources and your finances. I have a bank account, and sometimes when it's running low, I got to shift some money from the savings. How many of y'all know what I'm talking about? And so there's just many times in life that you have to just stand back, evaluate your situation, and then make a shift. But unfortunately we don't. Hey, honey, thank you for joining. So many times we forget to make that shift. And then, it ends up being too late, and we have a situation because we didn't shift when we should have been shifting. We didn't move people out of our life when it was time to. We let them stay just a little bit too long. Anybody know what I'm talking about? And then now we have a worse situation. We didn't shift maybe in and when it was time to leave that job, when it was time to start that business. And then because you're comfortable, you just stay there. And then you look up 30 years later, 20 years later, and it's like, where has the time went? There's so many things I wanted to do, but now I'm kind of stuck because you missed the shift. My God. And if we go, begin to think in terms of spiritual, and knowing when, we have to shift the atmosphere. Come on, we talk about that all the time, in church. We got to shift the atmosphere. We come in dry and dead and carrying everything that's been going on in our life during the week. And we bring that spirit into the church, but how many we got to shift the atmosphere? We got to know that when we enter those doors, we enter the worship. You got to leave everything behind you and shift the atmosphere. Begin to move into praise and to worship and watch the whole atmosphere begin to change. So don't miss the shift. When you miss the shift, let me tell you what happens when you miss the shift. I used to own my very first car was a stick shift. My very first car. I learned to drive I bought the car, and then my stepdad taught me to drive the car. I bought the car, got it off the lot because it was cheaper. Got it off the lot, and didn't know how to drive it. So with it being a new car, my first time learning how to drive that stick shift. And those of you who have driven a stick shift, you know that when it switches gears, which means when you accelerate and you begin to speed up, you have to switch. Hey, Minister DeQueer, you have to switch the gears. You have to shift the gears. Every time you enter another speed kind of limit, for lack of a better word, you have to shift. And so if you don't shift, what happens? I could hear the gears burning. Sometimes I could smell it. I can smell like the gears burning, the clutch like burning, because I'm not shifting it when it should. And when you don't shift, it makes a loud noise. Now, I want to, let's talk about that in terms of your life. When it's time for you to shift and you don't shift, you see, you can experience burnout. You can enter a phase of your life where things just seems chaotic, or things just are all out of place because you didn't shift. You didn't make the right shift at the right time. And so that's what happens. We have to know when it's time to shift. We have to look at the signs. We have to pay attention to the signs that God is showing us. You know, when it's time for you to shift that person out of your life, look for the signs. You know, look for the signs. Look at, things that are going on around you. Look at the attitude. Look at their spirit. Look at, the chaos and the confusion that they're causing around. You got to know when to shift. And let me tell you, I had that car for 4 months. Thank you. Oh, hair artist. I had that car for 4 months, and I burnt that clutch out. And I calling the dealership saying something wrong with this car. It's only 4 months old. And the man said, yeah, something wrong with it. You burnt the clutch out. He said, but I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and fix it. But the next time you're going to have to pay for it because that's not covered in a warranty. So on today, don't forget to make the shift. It's midweek. Don't laugh, Minister Charmaine. It's midweek right now. So what happens? Let's look at it in terms of my job. It's midweek. So at this point in the week, I know what I want to accomplish I burned the clutch out. I told him something was wrong with the car. So it's midweek. And so every week, we have goals. And so it's midweek, Fridays in a couple of days. So during this midweek today, I need to look at where I am. Am I going to make my goal by Friday and finish everything that I was supposed to? Am I going to hit my target? If I'm not, right now is the time to make the shift. You see, sometimes we make the shift when it's too late. It's too late. You missed your timing. And so you have to know when to evaluate. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until everything is messed up. Don't wait until, the bill collect, they done turned your lights off. You should have shifted that money much sooner. So don't wait until it's too late. You have to know when to stop. Evaluate your situation. What do I need to do? I need to shift things here. I need to shift things there. I do it. I have 2 call centers. That means they take calls all day. There's a service level. I have to have a certain abandonment rate. I can't have like a high abandonment rate. It has to, my goal, my target is it has to be lower than 3% of the calls that come in. And so sometimes when I go in, I'm getting ready to go into my office, and I look at the service level, I look at the number of abandoned calls, and I look at the people that's here. So what happens? So what happens is, that's good, Minister Charmaine. So what happens is I have to shift my staff. I have to say, hey, I need you to get over here. I need you to take these calls. Hey, what's going on with you? Okay, you having computer problems? Okay, so I need to shift you, and I need to call IS. Shift. I have to be proactive and not reactive, because when my leaders are asking me what's going on, I need to have an answer. And so I don't even want to have an answer. I want my numbers to be where they are. So I need to make the shift before the end of the week. when we end with our bad numbers. And so on today, whether it applies to your life, whether it applies to your relationships, your finances, you need to make the shift. You want to buy a house, you need to be pulling your credit report, looking at your finances, doing whatever it takes to make the shift so you can accomplish what it is that you have set out to do. Make the shift. It's midweek, make the shift. We're in February. If you are not on target for your New Year's resolutions, you need to make the shift. You need to do whatever it takes and change whatever you need to change in order to get to where you are trying to go. So I thank you all for joining me. I'm getting ready to go in and see what I need to shift. And I hope you do the same thing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for joining. Follow me on my Facebook page, Lady Desiree Crockett. I would greatly appreciate that. And I love you all. Thank you, hubby. Thank you for the hearts. And thank you, Sharice. And I will catch you all later on in the week. So y'all just have a wonderful day and be blessed in Jesus' name. That's right, Deborah. Make that shift. And I'm trying to shift this phone off.